Hi SourceFed Movie Club, it's me, and this week's movie was The Grey, starring Liam Neeson. And my quick review for this film is you're either going to love this film and think it's awesome and badass, or you're going to find it really dull. I think most people who watch this film can agree that Liam Neeson is an awesome actor, and this role is really well done. He manages to take a character that could be really one-dimensional. He could be this really stoic, grumpy survivalist, or he could be this really emotionally wrought man, and he brings it together and makes this really human, empathetic character that you're rooting for the entire time. And I think most of us, if we were in the situation he's in, we would want to be his character above all other characters, because he's the one that's most likely to survive, and he's the one that manages to bring the group together and get them as far as they possibly can. The acting overall in this film is really good, but he completely steals the show. I find him much more empathetic in this role than I found him in Taken, for example, where I just found him a lot more human in this one. The direction for this film is really good. It really drags you along, like, really quickly. Like, if there's action sequences, you're really in it. It's really personal and intimate. If you're going underwater or falling or anything like that, you really feel like you're with it. For the slightly more surreal dream sequences, you really kind of relax and you get ripped back to reality, and it's a very stark reality, and it's very realistically done. Overall, really well done in the direction. The production value for this film is really good as well. As someone who tries to spot where things look slightly off, I honestly couldn't tell when it was set, or when it was CGI, or when it was on location. Same with the walls, I couldn't tell when they were CGI or real or puppets. They were just really, really well done. Overall, for me, my personal review of this film is, as someone who doesn't like to get emotionally connected to films, I really, really hate crying. And I knew how this film was going to end. I got spoiled along the way before I watched this film. So given that I don't like to get emotionally connected, and I knew how it was going to end, and I still got choked up at the end, I really felt the emotional connection to the characters. That shows that it's a really good film. I think there's a lot of bros out there who shed a couple of tears for this film, and that's okay. It is a good film, and I think the fact that it does make you feel the emotions makes it a really good film. That being said, it's not great. There's a couple of problems with continuity. There's a couple of things that don't make sense. It's really realistic, but it sometimes feels a little bit out of place, just once or twice, but overall it's really good. I think the problem that most people are going to have with this film is it doesn't really fit into a genre. It's not really an action film, despite there being action, because it's not man versus man, or guns, or explosions, or car chases. It's action for the sake of survival. Same with the gore. It's not a horror film, even though it is occasionally a bit creepy and it is occasionally gory. It's all those things for the sake of reality, and it's a very, very realistic film. It's definitely not a romance or a comedy, so when you're watching this film, don't expect it to be an action film. Expect it to be slightly thrillery. I describe this film as a study of human life and experience in a very stark environment. And that's it, really. I thought this was a really good film. I hope you enjoy it as well. Definitely adult. The reason why I'm out in the woods today, if you were wondering, is I've run out of... Don't get me wrong, there are bookcases left in my house, but they're all in slightly awkward places, like up high on walls. So I wanted to give anyone who actually cares the choice of whether or not they wanted me to shoot in front of all these slightly more awkward bookcases, or whether or not you want me to settle in front of one bookcase and just have a fixed background like everyone else. And I wanted to give you guys the choice, because you guys are the lovely people who watch. And I deemed this was an appropriate location given the film. Hopefully you found this review useful, and I will see you next week. Bye guys.